This is a Headgum original.
There's a man who leads a life of hanger. A woodland creature is his doppelganger. If you hear the things he'll say, it'll ruin your whole day.
Yes.
But the odds are he'll be back again tomorrow. Secret Chipmunk Man, Secret Chipmunk Man. He is talking about crypto and eating acorns from your hand. Beware of free advice from greedy rodents. For a dirty every week, he's always chosen. He has a furry, shriveled heart, and his friendships all fall apart. But the odds are he'll be back again tomorrow. Secret Chipmunk Man, Secret Chipmunk Man. He is talking about crypto and eating acorns from your hand.
It goes on for another minute, quite frankly.
Wow.
I guess we'll play the full version at the end, but that was the
like
first
your
minute.
theme.
Yeah, it was. That one was called Secret Chipmunk Man.
Makes sense.
Not really. A bunch of the stuff was off color, off couth, too blue, too soon to be forgotten.
Okay. I feel like you made the energy weird up top because like I was dancing.
Because I forgot to roll.
You weren't rolling your audio. It felt like you were asking me if I was rolling. So you were saying you forgot to roll.
I forgot to roll, and I'm like, "Oh, are you rolling?" I forgot to say, "Let's roll."
Mm-hmm. So that was like an earnest. You were actually trying to figure out if I was recording my audio.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into it, and then it's like, "Oh shit, I forgot to say record." Hit record, Joe. You know?
That's interesting. Yeah, you can if you can watch it on the video, it noticeably dampers the mood.
Yeah,
to kind of talk production during the dance.
You can watch this. Everybody is listening right now. You can watch this on our YouTube. Sometimes we're in the same room. Sometimes we're in the same Zoom.
Yeah. Should we break the fact that we're going to maybe record some Jake and Amir's on the Headgum YouTube channel?
No, we don't have to do that.
Okay. So we won't break that news yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Right. Because it's not even official. It's just
what else is new?
Oh, I had a new idea. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I just have to close the door. You can keep talking about the idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I had a new idea for our new podcast, for a pivot for us. So yeah.
What'd you say? I was not wearing the headphones.
Yeah. You're wearing wireless headphones, and you walked towards your door and.
Oh no, they're
off.
wired. I plugged them in.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. These are wireless, but I plugged them in for the record.
I see. Okay. So my idea is a World Cup podcast.
Oh, it's late in the game, right? Because we're already through.
Late in this one, but then the next one's in 4 years.
Yeah.
So we'd have probably the first World Cup podcast.
Yeah.
The next one's when?
The next one's in America, so America doesn't even have to qualify.
That's awesome. So yeah, we can get started with it now during this World Cup. Basically, World Cup preview podcast.
So we're previewing the next one.
Whatever. And then we do predictions and just talk football.
Do you have any predictions for the next while this one is happening?
Don't we 4 years from now?
Right, exactly.
What am I yeah, I think Spain will do it. What?
Do you know any of the players on Spain?
Yeah.
You're not going to host
Knife to my ribs, I could name Cesar Azpilicueta.
Knife to your ribs.
Instead of gun to my head.
That's so much more painful.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty desperate to come up with an answer.
By the time this episode comes out, U.S. will have either been eliminated or won their greatest match of all time against the Netherlands.
Yeah. We actually, did Argentina come back from halftime? Because we could make a bet.
Oh, interesting. So yeah,
It might be too late.
We watched the first U.S. Group play game together, USA Wales. And it was me, you, and Emily, the original crew. And I was telling you guys all about the fun bets you can make online.
Yeah, the side bets. The prop bets? Is that what they're called? Prop bets?
Yeah, prop bets, side bets, any kind of bets. And because it's, such a popular game, they really give you a lot of options. You can bet on how many passes a team will have, how many corners a team will get. We bet on the teams to not get 3 corners in the second half.
Right. Yeah, so it's not just like betting has evolved. Maybe it's always been like this, but I used to think of betting as like, oh, you bet on this team to win or this team to win, and that's it.
Right.
But yeah, we made a bet that neither team would get more than or get 3 corners in the second half. There were only 2. There was 2 corners for Wales and 2 for the U.S. and 1 for Wales in the first half.
Yeah. It was like which team will hit 3 corners first, USA, Wales, or neither team, which was like 17-1. We're like, oh, let's bet on neither. Maybe it'll be like one of those games where randomly no team gets more than 2 corners.
Yeah, which happens.
It does happen.
I mean, in a half, not in a whole game usually.
Yeah, just the second half. And it almost happened in this one, actually. We almost hit it, but like USA got to 3 corners and Wales was stuck on 2. So it was very close.
Yeah, but it did ruin the second half for me until
you didn't like
the
it.
point. I did not like it at all. I basically enjoyed the first half, and then the second half I was nonstop watching the goal line to see if there was going to be a corner.
Yeah. It helps if you're betting on something you already root for. So for example, in the USA-Iran match, Marty and I bet that the USA would win. Okay, we're already rooting on the USA to win. So if it happens, then it's like just
cheer a little
amplifying.
harder.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have bet on the U.S. to get to 3 corners because then I would have been like rooting for them every time they got close to the goal.
Yeah,
and also I would have won, so that would have been good.
Yeah, and then sometimes people like hedge their emotion. Like, I'll put $1,000 on Iran, so like if they win, I won't be devastated because then I'll win like $4,500. And if USA wins, then I'm already happy or whatever.
Right. But then you will hedge your joy because you'll be like, yes, USA won, but I lost $1,000.
Yeah.
You don't really think about that, like of losing your bet. You're not going to be that happy to lose $1,000.
It'll be slightly dampened. Yeah. Did you see what the odds were for the USA Netherlands match?
Oh no, I did not.
Netherlands heavy favorite for like the USA to win. It's like almost 4-1.
Wow. What are you going to do?
I might bet on a draw because that bet only happens for the first 90 minutes. So if it's like 0-0 going into extra time, you win your bet, and then the USA can win on penalty kicks.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. Though from what I hear, they're very bad at corner kicks, very bad at set pieces, and very bad at penalty kicks.
That does kind of track. They're young. I feel like
they're fast and feisty, but they're not necessarily great at soccer.
I used to love the penalty kicks, and as I've grown up, they give me way too much anxiety. It's just too much pressure on single people, and it's a fucking guessing game.
Well, I have 2 problems with penalty kicks. One, they shouldn't be worth as much as a regular goal. Like USA Wales, we score a goal. It's incredible. They score on a penalty kick. That's a draw? No. We should win by a little bit.
Right. I guess there should be different color cards because, like, basically, I feel like you can get fouled in the box, and like, for instance, Christian Bale's penalty, like.
Christian Bale or Christian Pulisic
Bale, sorry.
And Gareth Bale?
Gareth Bale, yeah. But the penalty on Bale in that game, I think he had his back to the goal. Like that,
yeah, it was like not
it was
about
a foul
to
in
be
the
a
box,
goal.
but like it shouldn't be allowed to like
be an 85%
get
chance to score. Yeah.
Right. But then there are also like penalties where somebody has like an open goal and somebody like slide tackles them because it's their last ditch effort.
Or
and,
uses their hand to block the ball. And it's like, all right, well, at least it's not like it's a goal. I'll at least give myself a chance. Yeah. But then sometimes like, oh, if you slow it down, you can see that ball accidentally touch that guy's elbow. And now you guys have an 85% chance of scoring a goal, which gives you like a 60% chance of winning the match.
It's really not perfect. It's a tough place to be because like now that technology does exist, it's like should you really just not use it? Because after every single game, somebody would be like they should have called handball, and then they show the technology like yes they should have called handball.
Yeah, but it seems like the rules are made to like offsides, the rules are meant to like just eyeball it, and like if a guy's clearly cherry picking or like being offsides, then you call it, but not like, oh, actually his elbow, if you slow it down and get this 3D rendering, was ahead of that guy's knee. Like the USA second goal right before the first half last night should have probably been a goal anyway, and actually if you slow it down and render the video, it looks like his one knee was ahead of the other guy's elbow.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I feel like they should use the technology to just be like, this person's feet are planted further up the field because like they've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, this guy's pinky.
Is that an advantage? They were pretty much tied, ostensibly tied. It should be like where their feet are, or like if there's any part of an overlapping body.
Like, if you get the jump on somebody and you start your run, you're leaning forward to run. They're planted flat-footed like an idiot, but like, oh, like you're technically offside because your shoulder leaned past me.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's correct.
I feel like you and I should be in charge of FIFA because they've done some. They're essentially perfect, but I feel like they've had a few missteps, especially with the.
I'm also down to have the next World Cup in Qatar.
Should we do everyone here in the dead of winter from now on?
I'm actually getting bribes just to suggest that on a podcast. Two more other things about soccer that I've realized from watching it for a week now. One,
football, go ahead.
Blocking a penalty kick should be worth a goal. That's the hardest thing to do. Harder than scoring is blocking a Messi penalty, which did happen in the first half. I don't know if you saw. Messi got a penalty kick.
I love that Polish goalie. I think he had 8 saves in the first half, maybe more now. Like
insane. That should be worth 1 or at least half a goal.
Right. And then if it's Messi, it's a goal and a half.
If you're willing to take a penalty kick, you should be willing to get punished for missing a penalty kick. There has to be some negative outcome to missing it.
So you have an issue with penalties. I have an issue with VAR for sure.
Also, like the penalty kick leading right into free play, where it's like, all right, can we at least slow down? And I can't like kick a penalty, it comes back to me, and then I kick it right in. I feel like that's not okay either.
Yeah, that happened in the Euros. You had an issue with Harry Kane's putback.
Yeah, no, the putback. The goalie won. Now it's like dead time a little bit. One last thing. When they review a goal and it's canceled, there's very little fanfare about that. Like sometimes a team will celebrate for like 3 minutes and then they start playing. They're like, we reviewed it. It wasn't a goal, but they're still playing. I'm like, do they know that? Like the crowd is still going wild. They just like did the ref like in the sidelines like, oh, by the way, that wasn't a goal. It's like we should stop the match and let everyone know. Like now we should all be as devastated.
Give them a chance to grieve.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're still celebrating the goal, but they're just like, by the way, that wasn't a goal. Goals are so important. The fact that they like wipe them off with such little fanfare is kind of weird.
That really it sucks. It happened to my team in the Champions League where like they won in stoppage time, like with a miraculous Harry Kane header in the rain. Everybody like running around like fucking maniacs. It was incredible, and then. Like they spent 3 minutes reviewing it. The game is over. After 3
They're
minutes,
already
they
lifting
say it's
up
not
the
allowed.
trophy.
Yeah, it's like what are you doing? I don't know. I feel like they've trusted the robots a little too much, but then it's still the humans that look at the robots and say what the robot said. So it's not all there yet.
And how also this is more of a situational problem, but like yesterday when Pulisic, whatever, CP scored the goal, he hit his nuts so hard that he didn't even get to celebrate. Like he kicked a goal in, which is like pretty much the best goal in U.S. soccer history. But instead of being joyful, he was just writhing in pain, and then thus the team couldn't really celebrate either.
Yeah, That's
it was
gonna
just
live
like
on
straight into the pain. There was no joy.
And like that's the coolest thing that's happened to a US team in almost a decade. So like the replays of that will always just be like no fucking cool
Slide.
kick it to the corner, like run to the corner, slide on your knees, everybody's celebrating joyously. It's like our World Cup moment will forever be a replay of a nasty nut shot.
It's like a buzzer
It's like
beater in
America's Funniest
basketball,
Home
but a
Video.
guy tearing his ACL at the same time, so everyone was just bummed during it.
Yeah, their smiles certainly faded. It was very sad. But man, what a hero. I think Christian Pulisic is awesome.
I hope he plays in the Netherlands match.
Yeah, it's funny, like everybody, the team doctors and the coaches and stuff being like he's being evaluated, we're treating him, and he's just posting on social media. It's like, I will be in the match.
I don't need a fucking right ball.
Heart of a champion, man.
Do you think they have a chance against the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean,
if we tied England, anything is possible.
England is like a really good team. I think England is better than the Netherlands.
Right.
I don't know. All I know on the Netherlands is that they have a good defender. It's good defender, Virgil van Dijk, and then Gakpo. They're like striker is supposed to be very, very good. I'm sure the team is good.
Seems like America needs one of those striker guys.
Yeah.
We don't have like a tall guy with a cool header who can like kick the ball in from far away. It seems like we have small little fast dudes that try to get so close to the goal that eventually we can nut shot the ball into the net.
Yeah. But I almost feel like that's what works in the World Cup. Like you really see a lot of the stars end up getting like double teamed and they're ineffective. So like it's not, well, I guess that like creates space, but I don't know. I like that there's no defined hero on the U.S. team.
Argentina did score, but it wasn't Messi.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm trying to think. I don't think I care about that bracket at all.
You don't like Messi or Ronaldo or any of that stuff?
I love Ronaldo. I also love Messi. But I don't necessarily want the bracket to be that stacked for our boys. So
you're already looking ahead. Like once we beat the Netherlands, what's up?
Yeah. I think I want Saudi Arabia and Mexico to go through.
Yeah. Doesn't seem likely right now, especially not the Saudi Arabia part.
For sure.
All right, this is not a soccer podcast or a football podcast, but maybe one day it will be. Yeah, maybe we'll pivot.
2026 World Cup preview podcast.
This is If I Were You, an advice show, the only advice podcast on the web, hosted by us.
Yes,
I'm Amir.
I am Jake.
Gosh, what do we do? We're almost at the 20-minute mark right away. Do we answer a question, push everything back? Do we try to take a break now? It feels kind of too much, too fast, too soon.
Yeah. Are you, this is just like you're given the show notes during the episode, huh?
I just can't. It's right on the borderline. I wish we had like another thing to talk about that wasn't a full question. Like we don't want to take 15 minutes now to answer a question, you know?
Yeah. We could talk about the fact that I got COVID last week.
I gave you COVID, maybe. We don't know.
Low key possibly gave me COVID. I think, I don't know. Would you put it at greater than 50%? Greater than 20%?
I would put it pretty low because, I mean, we're able to track it with the podcast that we record. So like 3 weeks ago, I talked about going to Vegas. Then 2 weeks ago, I had COVID while we recorded. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And then last week's episode, we were in the same studio after I had COVID. And then this episode, you have / are getting over COVID.
Going by the release schedule, it certainly looks like
me having it, then us together, then you having it.
Right.
I see how that looks bad.
Yeah. And if someone could look at the unedited footage of Jake and Amir watch that we recorded together in my hotel room, where you're just like brutally
sneezing.
coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hacking
sneezing.
up a lung.
Yeah.
That wasn't
symptomatic, for sure.
symptomatic for sure, but I think I wasn't anymore because it was like day 11 or 12 giving off the coronavirus.
Right.
So my theory is that you got it on the flight there or back because nobody...
It's going around. It's a pandemic, man.
Yeah, nobody you were with in LA or New York got sick, right?
No.
So that's something. Like we were there with Rochelle, the producer. She didn't get sick either, I asked.
Oh, all right.
So maybe it didn't happen at that exact moment.
Yeah,
that's at least my
give
story.
It to me, it festers for a few days, doesn't it?
Yeah, it festers for sure. Yeah, it definitely Uncle festers.
Either way, man, I forgive you.
Thank you. I needed to hear that. All right, now let's take a break. We'll come back and answer a question on the other side of these messages.
Yep.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode of our program.
Thank you, BetterHelp.
There's nothing better in the world than talking to a professional, licensed therapist when you're trying to get out of a sticky situation, when you're feeling unsure about something, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, potentially becoming a parent.
Whoa.
Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions, and you can learn productive coping skills.
That's correct.
But it's hard to find a therapist in your area, find a good one, shop around.
Yep.
That's why BetterHelp is such a great service in this time and place, because you can find an online therapist within a few days.
Whoa, that's fast.
Yes, it's super fast. BetterHelp has already matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists that are available 100% of the time online. Plus, it's affordable.
Damn.
All you got to do is fill out a brief questionnaire. You match with a therapist, and if things aren't clicking easily, you can switch to a new therapist anytime. There's no waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist.
That's right.
BetterHelp really came along at the right time. They were like, let's start online therapy, and then a pandemic happened. Everyone got stressed out and couldn't actually see a therapist IRL.
Yeah, and thank them for it.
So you can learn more and save 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, HELP.com/ifIwereYou.
That's right.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ifIwereYou. Learn more, save 10%, talk to somebody, get your mind right, get your mind better, especially during these stressful times.
Yes.
Thank you, BetterHelp.
Thank you.
Thank you to Helix for sponsoring this episode of If I Were You.
Yeah.
Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. They have 14 unique mattresses. Holy smokes. Including a collection of luxury models. Yeah.
See? That's what I'm fucking telling you. 14 mattresses. It's not an easy quiz, asshole.
Right.
Sorry.
I was going to get to that point. The way it works is that you fill out a quick little sleep quiz, and they match.
Quick little sleep quiz. With 14 mattresses, do you think it's a quick little... All right, let's just get past it. You and I have irreconcilable differences on this aspect.
So you did. You took the Helix Sleep quiz, and you were matched with a specific mattress, and you've been sleeping on it for the last few years, right?
Like a baby.
Soft, medium, firm. What do they match you with?
Firm.
Okay. And they ask you like how you sleep, whether you're a side sleeper, hot sleeper, cold sleeper, whatever, and they figure out the best mattress for you.
Asshole.
Plus, they come with a 10 to 15-year warranty depending on your model. Holy smokes. So if you don't believe us and you just want to try it out for 100 nights risk-free, you can. And they'll pick up the mattress for you and give you a full refund.
Incredible.
There's an even better offer. They're offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. You just got to go to helixsleep.com/ifIwereYou.
Wow, $200 off. That's sick.
Yeah, go to helixsleep.com/ifIwereYou. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Damn right.
Thank you, Helix. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode of our program.
Thank you, Squarespace.
Wow, one of our day ones. I feel like we've been talking about Squarespace for over 5 years at this point.
I think we have.
That's how long they've been around. Even longer, because they have cracked the code. They figure out how to make it so simple and affordable to create a professional-looking, beautiful website.
That's right.
So whether you're just like starting an online portfolio, or you have a blog or something, or you have an e-commerce store that you want to launch, squarespace.com is the best way to do that.
Indeed.
You can even buy a domain name through Squarespace. There's not a lot of good .coms left, so we try to help you out during every ad read. For example, Jake, what's available at the time of recording?
Fart Barber. Fartbarber.com. If you want to open up a hair salon and you have a lax fart policy, you don't want your customers holding in their gas until after their haircut.
Fart.
And your barbers don't have to either. So everybody can kind of just let them rip in situ.
Mine's actually not too dissimilar from that.
Really?
You know Gravy Train?
Yeah.
Well, this is gravycart.com.
Gravy cart.
Just one of the carts is gravy.
Yeah. Right.
It's not a full gravy train.
Yeah. That makes sense because it doesn't have to be a full, well, some of the cars have to have the engine and room for passengers. So
Yes.
really it couldn't be all gravy. Really, it should always have been gravy cart.
This is just the gravy cart.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in Gravy Cart or Fart Barber or maybe yourname.com, Squarespace is the best way to do that. You can buy that URL. You can set up a professional looking website, and you can launch it with a free trial. And when you're ready to pull the trigger, just go to squarespace.com/ifiwereyou to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Whoa. Amazing.
So again, just check out squarespace.com. You get a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use that offer code IfIWereYou for 10% off. They're already low prices.
That's right.
So thank you, Squarespace. And thanks to you guys for using them when you're ready to finally launch that website of your dreams.
Exactly.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And we're back. Jake, do you have...
On to let's do the fight.
Mom, I'm coming! Gross.
I don't think I do, mate. Do you?
I got unsolicited advice from my haircut man, my barber man, my stylist of sorts.
Interesting.
How do you
Go
think my hair looks right now? For those of you watching on YouTube and Jake IRL.
Your hair looks good. Everything else, your hair looks good. That's what I'll say.
Everything else, ...
Yeah. Everything else.
So I got my haircut last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told to rinse my hair, but not to wash my hair.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being shampoo. He told me because my hair was at this point nearly 50% gray. Gray hair is wirier, drier, frizzier. And if I would shampoo it every time I shower, it would create a dry Brillo mop that was unruly and out of whack. And so what you're seeing right now is a hair without any product in it, but a week worth of, I guess, natural grease that's keeping it in place. And I got to say, it does look slightly better, and I haven't used any shampoo in a week.
Do you remember Julia Nunes came on our podcast and gave that same advice?
Yeah, I think that was more of a holistic thing. She was like, I'm using deodorant, soap, shampoo, like all these like chemical products less.
Right. Yeah.
This is specifically about hair right now.
Right.
I don't know
So
about
you're still
the other
wearing
stuff.
deodorant.
I have to still wear deodorant, yes, unfortunately. But there is something to natural cleanliness versus chemical cleanliness. I don't want to go full on into never use soap, but this is my first foray into that.
It's funny. I've been doing the same thing because I was getting like a really dry, flaky dandruff, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? And my barber told me that she asked me how often I shower, and I said sometimes twice a day.
Too
and
much.
She said, do you wash your hair every time? And I said, yes. And she was horrified.
Yeah.
So I've stopped. So now I shampoo my hair once a week. But she told me that I could condition it every single time because I feel like I haven't showered unless I put something in my head. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, does sweat like the sweat that dries onto your skin is what smells. Does it dry onto your hair, or like you could just wash it off with water and your hair doesn't stink anymore?
I mean, I think that's what your barber, I almost called him your doctor.
I think that's what my hair doctor told me.
Yeah, I think like you put soap on your body and then rinse out the hair. That seems fine. It also, I mean, all of this stuff is always like, how do you feel about it? How do you think it's looking? And it is looking good. I think everybody has such different bodies and different hair.
Yeah. I guess I'm saying it's worth a shot.
It worked for me.
Worth a shot. Give it a shot.
Yeah. I like it.
Are you not going to give it a shot?
I already am. And I enjoy it. I'm down to once a week with the shampoo.
Yeah, I mean, I used to wear like hair grease products, and I hadn't since the pandemic because I went so long without seeing anybody. So now I'm on this like natural kick, and it seems like my hair is holding as though I'm putting stuff in it, but I'm not.
Yeah, it looks better than it has in a while.
And it's like, actual bedhead instead of a product called bedhead.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say before you've been looking awful, frankly, and I feel like
Don't worry about like other stuff or how I look in general or anything like that. All I'm talking about. What was that?
That was Dingo. He's hanging out in this room, relaxing with me. Only now he has the sense that there's a dog nearby.
Yeah, he senses / feels that to be the case.
Yeah, he really doesn't bark, and then every once in a while, he'll like something will just concern him.
He snaps,
and I've for the most part, I've always just been like telling him to relax, and then I find out that it's something I was glad that he was barking about. So there's probably someone robbing my house right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, while they do that, we might as well answer some questions on this show.
Good call. Thanks for barking, buddy. That was really nice.
Here's one. Speaking of getting older and our fans getting older, we finally have our first question about a vasectomy.
Oh my God. Let's go.
We'll call this guy Victor. Vasectomy. Writes, I'm getting a vasectomy in February, and I'm a little nervous about it. For one, I don't like the idea of a doctor cutting open my nuts while I'm knocked out. But I'm not a coward, and it needs to be done. Anyway, I have a couple of questions. What is the appropriate level of shaving / trimming that needs to be done before the doctors / nurses see my grundle? Do I have to shave my asshole? 2, not only is the surgery scary, but apparently the first time you nut afterwards is a bloodbath. I'm preemptively scared as shit about that. Any ideas on how to get over it? Love the show. Thanks for making me laugh. Victor.
Okay, Victor. That's interesting.
So I've had some friends get vasectomies recently. I'm at the age where my buddies are so far along in life, they're done having kids medically.
Mm-hmm. They're like, saying, this is enough. No more.
Snip me up, cut me off, literally. I don't want to be at risk anymore. And from what I understand, some of my friends who have gotten vasectomies are awake while it happens.
Is it that small of a procedure?
It's pretty borderline because some of them are indeed asleep the entire time. But like, imagine.
Or are the ones that are awake, how do they feel?
They don't feel anything. It's numb. But like, there's, the sounds of soldering happening where they're doing small incisions into your balls. Like, you can't really feel or see it, but you can probably smell and hear it. It's not comfortable, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I have, it was the worst experience of my life, I think, getting my wisdom teeth out while I was awake.
So you'd opt for the full sleeper.
Yeah. What do I need to be there for?
Yeah, you don't need to be there.
Knock me out. I'll get up.
I guess there's some risk to slipping into a coma and dying, but that's, fine ultimately, because then you don't feel any pain anymore on the other side.
Yeah. I'll take that risk.
Even if you were kind of awake or half awake or fully asleep, are you manscaping, to use a term, for the people snipping you up down there just out of courtesy, I should say?
Like, I was gonna say no, but then also I was like, oh yeah, before I go to the dentist, I'd like brush and floss.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm shaving grundle. I don't think I'm like I wouldn't do more than I usually do. But maybe if it's like I am someone who trims regularly, I'll give myself a fresh trim.
They probably ask you to do some cleanup, right? Like, unless they're like, yeah, we'll shave you down there if there's anything in the way.
They might. And if that's the case, if they're like, we'll shave you or you can shave yourself, I think maybe I would opt to shave myself rather than have some fucking butcher do it while they're cutting open my nards.
Yeah. I'll handle that Actually, Pulisic got a vasectomy. That's what happened right after his goal.
Yeah, the goalie gave it to him.
And then from my friends recounting, some of them are like, yeah, it hurt like a low grade, like getting hit in the balls pain for a week. And then eventually it goes away. But you have to literally like masturbate yourself to the point of getting the rest of your semen out. So like you do have to like sort of almost on doctor's orders masturbate enough times.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I'll get a vasectomy. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty bloody and painful the first few times, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But then after that, it like clears off, it clears away all the remaining sperm in your system, and then you're finally good to go.
Right. So if you get a vasectomy, have second thoughts, and think you might want a kid or something, you could still theoretically have sex a couple times and it could take.
Yeah. Isn't that a story in your family? A delayed vasectomy causing some sort of
birth
situation?
Of my brother. Yes. Yeah. My mother famously said at Micah's bar mitzvah, Micah is the direct result of a delayed vasectomy.
Delayed?
Like,
let's push it 1 week for weather reasons and then...
Yeah, I think there was... I think it was like a snowstorm or something.
Wow.
That, I also imagine that my dad wasn't like super eager to get the vasectomy. So maybe like snowstorm comes, cancels it, pushes it to like the next month. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Micah was supposed to not be around.
Because your family had already had 2 kids and then triplets.
Yeah. So they were like, I think... Let's close the loop here.
It must be rare that triplets are not the last child. Like triplets are so rare, and then to be like, all right, and now one more. Why?
Yeah,
obviously. Why would we do that?
People are usually like, whenever I tell people about my family, they're like super surprised at the triplets. That's always like, oh my god, they're triplets. And then like the second one that's even bigger is like, there's another one after. What? Why? Why did they do
child
that?
Is already rare, let alone after the triplets. I wonder if there's any other family in America that goes girl, boy, triplets, boy. Like that's got to be an insane.
Yeah, it's an interesting family makeup. If you know of any like that, hit us up.
Please let us know.
I'd like to meet
any ideas on how to get
twin.
over? Any ideas on how to get over that preemptively scared as shit? What I like to do during, surgeries or COVID or sickness is like, this is bad, but you're not the first one in the world ever doing this. We're all going through something like this. Vasectomies has happened for decades, so it'll hurt, but it's nothing that nobody else has done before.
Yeah. If anything, be thankful that you're getting it now instead of like, hell, what did the guy getting the first vasectomy feel like?
Yeah, there had to have been the first vasectomy, the first LASIK, the first whatever.
It's like, hey, I got a crazy idea. I want to have
your
kids
nuts
anymore.
To try.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an accidental thing. Like he was soldering his fucking vas deferens for fun, and one of the side effects was that he couldn't have kids after.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
He was playing with his balls. I guess I would if I was done having children / didn't want to have children / didn't want to risk children at all.
Right.
One way to
but you're still like you're on the
fence
about the kid anyway. So you're like, oh, maybe I want to leave it on the table.
Keep the gates open just for an accidental purpose. Maybe God will sort of force me into having a child by accident / happenstance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be cool.
But yeah, stay tuned. We'll let you know if we ever get vasectomies or otherwise.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Okay, let's take another break. Thanks some more spons and answer some more quests on the other side of these messages.
Nice.
Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic.
Whoa, incredible.
Yes, finally a t-shirt that actually fits. Not to mention, they're super soft.
Yes, indeed they are.
They sent us some true classic tees, and I gotta say, they're rocketing to the top of my t-shirts.
Nice. Yes, they are. You're wearing one right now under that hoodie.
Absolutely I am, because it's soft and it's good and it looks nice, and the colors come in all the classics that I need, the whites, the blacks, the navies.
Indeed.
And I guess in addition to being comfortable and in addition to being affordable, they have an entire one-stop shop for all things menswear. So if you're looking to build out your wardrobe from polos to workout shirts, they have the same flattering fit from boxer briefs to whatever you need. All their clothing is comfortable, long-lasting, and yes, affordable.
That's correct.
And if you're worried about sizing, do not. They have stuff for all the big boys out there with long body options for the tall boys, like XXL sizing and long body sizing.
Boom, baby.
Your sweet thing will love it. And your buddies will thank you for passing the True Classic good word along, just like we're doing right now.
Right.
So if you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic, you can get 25% off at trueclassic.com with code IFIWEREYOU.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If I were you.
Yes, free shipping included on purchases over $100. That's 25% off trueclassic.com with code IFIWEREYOU.
Indeed.
Don't mess around with shirts that are too boxy or weird. Get a great fitting, great looking, stylish, affordable t-shirt at True Classic.
That's right.
Thanks, True Classic.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this episode of our show.
Thank you, Rocket Money.
The hardest thing in the world, canceling a subscription.
Right.
I feel like they make it hard on purpose as part of their low-key business model or some shit.
It's almost like they make cash on when you forget to cancel the shit that you pay for.
Bingo. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Well, Rocket Money is an app that shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels the one you don't want for you.
Exactly.
I got to do this, I'm telling you, because I don't know what the heck I'm paying for at this point between my stuff, Avital's stuff, the parents' stuff that we borrow, if anybody else is on my accounts. It's a scary peer under the hood, and I think I'm going to finally pull the trigger, use Rocket Money to find those subscriptions and cancel unnecessary ones.
It's time.
So you and I will both do this together. We'll go to rocketmoney.com/ifiwereyou.
Yep.
Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/ifiwereyou.
Do it, folks.
Save some cash this holiday season. And we have returned.
Yes.
One last question to rule them all.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
This one's from an email address that I think is in Norway.
A Nordic fan.
Yeah. Yahoo.no. Is that Norway? I think so.
Yahoo.no. That's funny.
Okay, we'll call this lady Mrs. Claus. I'm a 35-year-old woman from...
Mrs. Claus is from the North Pole, you fucking idiot.
What's that?
Mrs. Claus lives in the North Pole, but... Oh, yeah, sure, we could pretend she lives in Norway. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, whatever, man. Who gives a shit?
Oh my, you're on the naughty list.
I'm not on any fucking list. Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm a 35-year-old woman from Scandinavia, says Mrs. Claus, Christina Kringle herself. I met this guy at a work function, and we really hit it off and spent the whole night sitting by ourselves, gossiping over our coworkers. I really liked him, and I found myself missing him after that night. We have been texting off and on the last couple of weeks, mostly about shared happiness, but also about life in general. It's not really flirty, but...
Shared happiness.
Yeah. I also want to ask him out on a date, but here's the thing. He's 25. It feels like a big age gap, and I don't really know how to get over it. My sister is 25, and I always view her as a baby, so it's hard for me to reconcile being attracted to a 25-year-old man. My brain tells me it's too young. Person? 35.
Oh.
Are these feelings irrational? If so, how do I get over it? How much of an age gap is too big? Thanks in advance.
It's tough. I feel like my experience is probably shaded by watching reality TV where oftentimes the young guys turn out to be fuckboys. So it could be, everyone is different.
Yeah, some young guys have old souls.
That's a big age gap, but it also depends what this guy is looking for. Like, is he somebody that is normally in long relationships or not? Like, if this person seems to be a serial dater and seems to be a fuckboy, but they're telling you that they aren't going to be, then I think I wouldn't trust that. But if they seem really nice, normal, cool, I think you give it a chance. I also just think it always comes back to expectations. If you are like, I like this guy, I'll see where it goes with no expectations, then maybe you'll have a nice time. But if you're going into it being like, I want a serious relationship, but I don't know if he's ready, but he should be, so I'm going to give it a shot, then yeah, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah. It's also, well, one, it's kind of weird because it's the younger guy and the older girl, so that's a little unorthodox. Usually it's the other way around for whatever reason. And also, since this lady lives in Norway, I feel like all bets are off. Like, who knows what kind of crazy shit goes on over there? The mayor's probably like a pickle, and the dogs are married to fucking houses. Like, the fact that it's a 25-year-old and a 35-year-old is probably the most normal shit that happens in Norway.
Isn't your dog Luke married to your house?
Yes, but he has Norwegian blood in him. That's why we got there.
Yeah, and the mayor of the town where you grew up, what kind of vegetable was he? I'm trying to remember.
Cabbage.
All right, yeah, so not a pickle.
No, it would never be fermented, is what I'm saying. It just, things are a little weirder in Norway is all.
Things are a little different there.
Yeah, so I think as long as you're fine with it, the weirdest part, I bet, what's making you feel the weirdest is the fact that your baby sister is 25, so you're like, I can't date someone the same age as my baby sister.
Yeah. I mean, the difference between me at 25 and 35 is extreme. I was a piece of shit when I was 25. When I was 35, definitely less of a piece of shit, Still mild piece of shit for sure. But
25-year-olds come in all shapes. And Jeffrey just turned 25. He's a different 25-year-old than we were.
Totally. He's a lot less of a fuckboy than I ever was. So I do think that, one, it's no expectations, don't project anything on into the relationship. And also, I think you can be fair to yourself and just be like, you're getting so far down the line from like text thread to, am I ready to be in a relationship with a 25-year-old? It's like, let's go one thing at a time. You're just flirting with a 25-year-old right now. And that's fine. You can
That's actually
see how
hot.
that plays out. Yeah.
That's probably the sexiest age you can flirt with at this point.
Yeah, because any younger, it's a little off.
Right, but a 25-year-old, that's the GOAT age for a 35-year-old girl to be flirting with.
Yeah, 10 years exactly.
Actually, that guy should probably come on our show, just because imagine a fucking 25-year-old Norwegian. I assume God. There's no 5'7" nerds in Norway, right? They're all like 6'4", blonde
It's all
hair.
Erling Haaland.
Yeah, just tall, really blonde Viking men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess the nerdiest you can get for a Norwegian is like a scrawny guy with like a long brown ponytail. You know what I mean? Kind of like glasses and a ponytail, and he's really good at doing the Rubik's Cube or something like that.
Yeah. Slender comb over.
Yeah, but he's still kind of strong because he does like taekwondo, and you're like, oh, I
he's
guess
still,
you are strong.
He like eats
like
gorp
wiry.
and shit.
Yeah, but he's like still kind of nerdy, like ultimately like pretty nerdy. He's just like insanely like wiry and strong. Like he could still put you in a weird Norwegian headlock or some shit.
Right. Yeah. Like he'd go on like a 40-mile hike in like the Norwegian mountains, but like it would be a stroll to him. But he's not like jacked and hot. He's just kind of like, he's got
sturdy.
nerd stamina.
Yeah, like he's wearing shorts and fucking sandals, and it's 31 degrees out or something like that. Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
He just always has
Celsius.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, he has big Norwegian nerd energy, or BNNE.
Yeah. Let us know which your guy has.
And don't let him know that we said that shit about him, because I am kind of low-key afraid he'll beat the shit out of me.
That's true.
But yeah, good luck out there. Especially if you're in Oslo. I hear it's really expensive.
Oh, yeah. We should move there.
That'd be cool. Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for writing in. If you have your own questions or your own theme songs, now's the time. Our inbox is cleared and ready to read. It's ifiwereyoushow@gmail.com.
Right on.
Stay healthy, please. Get away from us. Stay as healthy as possible.
Don't talk to us.
And if you want, we're also making videos on our Patreon, patreon.com/JA. Every week, we're watching 2 Jake and Amir videos and commenting on them. Watching these videos that we barely remember ourselves, but it's been a fun time.
Indeed.
Good holiday gift, too, if there's a Jake and Amir fan in your life.
That's right.
So if anybody's asking you what you want for the holidays, let them know. Patreon.com/JA. Chanukah. Right. Okay, that's it. That's our time. We'll be back, of course, next week. The theme song was written by... Did we give this guy his due props? Or did we just go straight into a bit? Secret Chipmunk Man, right.
Well, we got to finish the song anyway.
Yes, so it was Secret Chipmunk Man. God, we totally did not read any of this stuff. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. That sucks.
Happy Thanksgiving. My name is Sean Hotley, and I made this song with the help of my friend Drew on drums. If I could promote something. This spring, we're launching my long-term dream project. We're launching my long-term dream project, Our Little World, a children's show on YouTube focusing on helping kids explore their communities, foster their curiosity, and build confidence. But no, I guess we wanted to talk about fucking soccer instead.
You should record an addendum and put it up front or something. That's brutal.
We need...
It was such a good song
gut
too.
Punch. We need
3 verses.
All right, here's what we'll do. If you made it this far, now it's like we can always promote at the top, but by the end you don't remember. If you made it this far, these people need 100 subscribers to customize their YouTube URL before they post their first episode. So call to action. Actually do this. If you're at your computer, go to their YouTube channel on their website, which is ourlittleworld.show. I'll fucking subscribe, okay? I'll give them that subscription. That's at least 1 for messing up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, you should be. Yeah, you are sorry.
And if you're listening, please, subscribe. They only have 35 subscribers right now, so you guys can track their progress. Let's get these guys to 100.
Let's do it.
And let's listen to that song again. Ready? Here we go. See you next week, everybody.
Thank you.
There's a man who leads a life of hanger. A woodland creature is his doppelganger. If you hear the things he'll say, it'll ruin your whole day. But the odds are he'll be back again tomorrow. Secret Chipmunk Man, Secret Chipmunk Man. He is talking about crypto and eating acorns from your hand. Beware of free advice from greedy rodents. For a turdy every week, he's always chosen. He has a furry, shriveled heart, and his friendships all fall apart. But the odds are he'll be back again tomorrow. Secret Chipmunk Man, Secret Chipmunk Man. He is talking about crypto and eating acorns from your hand. secret chipmunk man. Secret chipmunk man. He is talking about crypto and eating acorns from your hand.
That was a Headgum original.